welcome back to Fairview Farm. We are just leaving the BGA. I've got something on the back of the truck here. In fact, this truck itself is new. We got a call from the BGA and they said they were updating a lot of their equipment. And they knew that we were going to have a little bit of trouble transporting all of our silage this year, and they were looking to sell off some old kit. So yeah, this truck and the trailer and the wheel loader that we've got on the back, these have all been sold to us at quite a big discount. I mean, I've spent a lot less money here than I would have ever expected to on this kit, and it means that later in the year we should be fairly good for getting all of our silage loaded up and sold. This truck holds 60,000 liters, and the wheel loader it's an older Volvo model, but it should do the trick. We're coming around this way because I couldn't get the out of the BGA in a direction that we could easily turn everything. So we're actually running the coast road today on this really wet day. It is September the 16th. We've got an agronomist coming not tomorrow, but I think it's 2 days time they're due to come. So we're holding off doing any work on our fields until then. But this should mean that we're in a fairly good position now to get everything sorted and to really make money well. And I am very pleased to have got some kit like this for well under 100,000 we've spent on this. And that's good. Yes, they've got a few hours on both of them, but considering that we're only going to be using these probably a couple of times a year, they should pay for themselves pretty quickly. In fact, with such a wet day, I think what we're going to do is take some opportunity to see if we can get our... What was that? We seem to have stopped on something in the road. Let's just gonna reverse up a little bit. There's something. What is that? Oh, gotta be careful. Someone's stuck some fencing in the road. Let's see if I can get this. Oh wow, that is actually stuck fairly tight in there. Looks like yeah, somebody's been playing silly people. Let's see if we can get this around here. That's a bit of a hazard. I better report that to the local council, because yeah, somebody's going to have a really big problem. We're lucky there. We got caught on our trailer and it cleared the truck. So yeah, so it looks like someone's been messing around with the tarmac around here and put something in fairly dangerous. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, these should pay for themselves fairly well. Where do I want to go here? I want to go this way. Trying to remember how to navigate my way around here when I'm not taking the normal route I take to the shop is quite difficult. But again, this is giving you guys another view of the area around here and how beautiful a place this is. And it really is. In fact, this is the big farm around here. This is the one that I was telling you about that sits on the other side of the lock. That is, yeah, not much going on there today by the looks of things. But that's the biggest dairy farm in the area. They have a lot more cows than we do. And then this just should bring us back down to the main road here. But you can see the beauty of the area here and why I really love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. The farms that are around here are just sort of the last remaining few from the original sort of crofting up here. There's a You saw the ruins of a building there, and yeah, these used to be a lot of smaller farms around here, and as a result there are quite a few ruins dotted about the fields in places. Just trying to see if we can see another one down by the loch, but not that I can see. I'll pull that round. Yeah, getting our trailer around some of these corners is fun. But I was trying to see if I could see another ruined house. Oh, there's one down by the lock there, down by the water. You can just about see on the edge there. Doesn't look like a ruined one, but there are a few ruined buildings around here that sort of show that this landscape used to have a lot more people farming around it than there are now. And we're just the sort of the 5 farms that are still left. Go right up on the side. It's quite a long trailer, this. But yeah, we're one of the few farms that still remains up here, and even we're pretty small in all consideration. Bring this in, and yeah, there we go. Now, I'm going to have to take this into the field, because trying to get this trailer into the yard as it currently is going to be way too difficult for us. We're going to need to unload it up the top there and then take it in. Even this flatbed at the moment, well, we don't really have storage for all of this at the moment. This is the trouble. I bring the truck in here. Pull carefully onto the concrete up the top. Yep. And then we should be able to get it all undone. Get the backs of this down. And unclip that. And there she is. A lovely classic Volvo ML841. With a nice big bucket on it. So this doesn't replace our David Brown on the farm. Our David Brown is still going to be doing lots of bits. This was basically just bought to handle everything in here. So I'm going to get to work with it today, and we'll do some piling up and some compacting of our silage that we've got. So let's start it up. We'll raise up this, and I'm going to try and reverse out. So, get in the right gear. Yeah. Now, the beauty of this is this will be great for doing this work, because it has on it the wider tires. So that will work a lot better for us. Bring it around the front. Oh, yeah, we'll go through the grass. I have a feeling we might be thinking a little bit into the grass. It is really wet underfoot today. The rains have finally come, and it's making things that little bit more difficult. But we're okay. And so we'll bring this in here. I would say, oh, we'll use it to help with the work, but I don't think that's a wise idea. So plan is that doing the silage like this, down with the bucket, we go in and scrape and fill the bucket up. Get a nice full bucket. And then you drive up on top and just stack up a bit. That way, we're going to be putting the older silage towards the back here. And because this has the extra power, because this is able to do this, we've got a little bit more weight than the David Brown. And we end up with a much better setup on here to get this all sort of compacted and done quicker. And when we come to do the next batch of silage in a month or so, what we'll be able to do is get this compacted quickly so that we can very easily get everything fermenting, and then when everything's fermenting, we'll be able to then go and sell it later in the month. Oh, we need to be on top in order to get this to dump out properly. Yeah, only downside to this, of course, is that it doesn't have a high dump bucket, and there's not really one available. The whole hydraulics on this, I don't think will handle a high dump. So yeah, it'll be one of those things where we have to do it later, and we'll end up having to upgrade the machine to do it. But at the moment, we are in a good position. We should be absolutely fine. So this kind of rainy day is a perfect day to be doing a job like this. We are able to do this undercover. It means that we're not taking time off from field work that we could be doing or anything else, and we just end up having a much better use of our time on a day like this. Now, of the equipment that we've got today, of this wheel loader and the truck, those are both ours, and those have both been purchased. The trailer, the legal trailer, that is actually leased. I had to speak to the shop a couple of days in advance, arrange one to arrive so that we could get this wheel loader back here, because driving this along the road would have made no sense whatsoever. I mean, it does have a number plate and it is registered on the road, but it is also fairly slow overall, and we needed to get the truck and the wheel loader back, so it made more sense to hire a trailer. So I've got to run that back to the shop at the end of today, once I'm happy with how this is working, and this is working well. Look at this, it's just piling up all of this grass really nicely, and yeah, we'll take a lot less time with this piece of kit to get all of our silage, or all of the grass compacted ready for silage, than it ever would with the David Brown. David Brown would take a lot longer, and we're able to get this all compacted up and sorted a lot quicker. And once we got the new buildings made, then we'll be able to basically have these two silage clamps working together. We'll do one cut of silage, we'll put that into one clamp, we will get it all compacted with this, and then we'll turn around and we'll get that all done, and then while that's fermenting, we can fill up the second one, and then we can sell all this off once it's fermented, and then while the second one's fermenting, we'll be able to refill the first one again. Really, really good way of doing it, and should save us a well, should give us a lot more regular income than we've had in the past. And the BGA is wanting stuff all year round. They do want a steady flow of silage, because it helps to keep their electricity generation a little bit more even. I think that's probably just about nicely piled up for today. I might get the David Brown out here, because I'm having some trouble picking up some of the lower lying stuff, and I think it's got stuck to the ground a little bit. The forks on the manure fork that we've got on the front of the David Brown, that should handle that. So let's just pull this out of here. As I said, this does not in any way replace our David Brown at all. That is still a very, very useful piece of kit on the farm, especially when it comes to feeding our animals. The David Brown will still be a very useful piece of kit. So I'm just going to park this in here beside the combine, and yeah, this is the thing. I'm having to park equipment that's possibly a little bit in the way. Turn that off. Perfect. Ah, such a wet and horrible day. But we can run quickly over here and grab this. And yeah, The other advantage, of course, to that other tractor or that wheel loader is that we're not sitting in the rain, whereas this is cabless, and therefore anything I do outside of a covered shed or anything ends up being a very wet experience. But we're all right, because in here we don't need to do that. Is that going to scrape that off the ground? On the end it did. We seem to get under it there, but I don't know what's going on with the stuff under here at the moment. Looks like we might have to lay it out. My worry is that if we ferment it with it stuck on the floor like this, will we be able to pick up the fermented silage as well? Or is that going to be a problem? So, yeah, look at that. Trying to scrape that off there. Is that coming up? Oh, that did come up. Yeah, it's working. We are able to scrape some off the ground, so it is good to have these spikes to do this sometimes, because when the wheel loader can't pick it up, the spikes should be able to. A job that I would really like to have done today is starting to get the slurry on the grass fields and the manure on the arable field. However, that's not going to be possible, partly because of the rain. I mean, you just don't go and put that stuff on when it's this wet. And partly because I don't really want to have stinky manure and slurry all over the fields when the agronomist is driving all over them. So once he's been and done his work, we'll be able to go and get those fields done. That, though, is pretty neat. I'm pleased with that. We've got a nice, neat setup there. And that is all clean. Oh, God, it's so wet. This is horrible. Right, there we are. And yeah, I want to do a milk run soon. We need to take some milk down and get that delivered at some point. Today is not so good for it, but I think we're all right otherwise. Yeah, we've got all of this empty. This shed is now completely empty, and so is this one here. We're waiting for the builders to come back, clean up this rubble, and then start work on knocking this shed down. So that might be happening in the next few weeks as well, which would be great. Let's head up here. I need to go and take this flatbed back to the back down to the shop. We should be able to do that with the truck. We'll run it down there with the truck. We've got the hydraulics in the front. So close up our ramps, yeah, and yeah, we can get this Flegel truck this Flegel trailer returned. It is not much use to us beyond this, and I don't really want to have it kicking around the farm. Best way to do this: if I try and take this truck through the yard with this trailer on, it's never gonna get through. So I think we're going to have to drive down here, spin around on the grass field. Not ideal when it's this wet. And then we'll head back down to the shop with this trailer and get this finished. It looked like to the south, the sky might be brightening up a little bit. That's really good. This rain really needs to stop. I mean, it's September. It can be quite wet around here around this time of year. It's why it's part of the reason why there's very little arable on Fairhead, because it can be wet. It can be wet right when you're looking to harvest. So yeah, you don't really get a lot of arable up here for that reason. Not because it's bad growing, it's because it's bad harvesting. You will quite often people struggle to get lots of harvest in on here. Instead, the grass is a much better way to go. Or they put in crops like that, so that... Just pull up here, nobody will come along. That is corn, is maize. So people put that in, they'll make silage out of that as well, which can be quite good up here. But obviously nobody has really big silage equipment. You won't see one of those large forage harvesters. It's all side-mounted older stuff, or three-point mounted older stuff around here. There's no big. I think they're John Deere 9000 silage harvesters. You won't see any of those up here. Partly because you struggle to get those around these back lanes. And all of those fields are fairly small as well. There's no massive fields of things like that. It's mainly just people experimenting a little bit with what will work around here, and how they are able to best use the land. But as you can see from just driving around, so much of this is grass, and so much of what people do around here is grass, silage, and hay, and basically stuff that supports the cows. We're back down towards the shop. That's just passing the BGA. And now, oh, this is the bit I'm dreading. It was fun getting out of here originally with this trailer on. It's going to be even more fun getting back in. We're going to have to swing around as straight as we can. Going to reposition because I'm not overly happy. That basically, that fence post down there, we need to get as close to the front of the truck as we can. After trying for a while to come in the other entrance, yeah, it is not really a way to come in for a truck like this. There's a side entrance around here, which is still tight, and not a lot of fun to get in. You can see my tracks, how close I came to the wall in places. So it's, yeah, that's quite a tight entrance in there. Let's disconnect that, and we get back in our truck, and we'll head back to the farm. Getting out of this, a lot easier than getting into it, because we can pull straight out and then just swing round afterwards. But coming the other way, that's a lot more different. That's a lot different. It is just such a tight turn to get round. One of the great things about this truck is we should be able to customize it and take the sides off the back. So this should convert into a flatbed, as well as being a truck that we can transport our silage with. Oh, going round into my own yard. This is why we need more space. Look at that. That is just so tight. We will be able to customize it and put flatbed on. Now I'm just wondering if then it's also worth us looking and seeing if we can invest in some ramps and see if we can actually load stuff onto the back of it. Look out the window. Where am I going? There we are. There we go. Just stick this in here for now. We'll have to move it later. But yeah, we should be able to make a flatbed on that, and then if we need to take this down to be serviced or anything, we will be able to put it on the back of this and not have to go and lease that flatbed again. That would be very, very helpful to us, I think. All in all, considering how wet today is, though, I think we've had a fairly productive day. We've got a nice new couple of bits of equipment on the farm that are going to make a big difference to everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with our silage sales later in the year. For now, though, I'm going to leave this vlog here, so all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.